that the first you heard of it?
Terence Crawford, great fighter. I like very huge respect of him. And I think so. He's the best pound for pound fighter. But
Believe he's the finest F-pound fighter, but if he moves up to the level where he can defeat Canelo, you think so. But I'm not sure how comfortable he will be. Is that the first time you heard of it? He's a tremendous fighter, and I have a lot of respect for him. As Terence Crawford's battle with Canelo Alvarez becomes closer and more imminent, he has received another warning. A growing number of boxing experts are doing everything to call off the bout because they believe it's a stupid idea for Crawford to look for a problem that the former undisputed world welterweight champion is prepared to put in the effort and challenge himself to become one of boxing's greatest fighters of this generation for a pay-per-view to watch. In your opinion, Crawford's skill level equalizes the weight. If they fought, they would obviously be the same weight. Yes, so maybe he's not the best person to advise Crawford right now after losing. Was never his and fight a battle that was out of bounds like other times. However, Tyson Fury has some warnings for Terence Crawford. In an interview with TNT Sports Boxing, the former two-time world heavyweight champion acknowledged that weight was the decisive factor in the fight, giving Crawford a chance to defeat Canelo had they met years ago in a lower division. Fury is supporting the Mexican at super middleweight, where the fight will undoubtedly take place. And we have Terence Crawford versus Alvarez, which is a very tough fight between different weight categories. Not sure, but I'm going to suggest Canelo at 168 and Crawford at 140. I'll go with Canelo Crawford, who is 47 to 68. Perhaps he would push Canelo down to 60 or 54 or whatever, I'm not sure. But I'm not sure. Do you have a favorite? Canelo has said unequivocally that he will not lose any weight, which is consistent with Bud's intention to push himself to the limit by reaching 168. 14 pounds greater than his previous weight, regardless of whether the fight can be made. Mike Tyson agrees, saying, "Who knows, that smiles tell me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, but no, I'm just saying, man, we can't say it's not going to happen. We can't say that it is." The American is much more eager, but the Mexican has admitted that he will accept it for the right price. The startling weight difference has become a point of contention in the boxing community. The 20th was too long for Crawford, who had a tight battle with the final opponent, Israel Madoff, who was too huge and awkward for him to really engage in combat. Tyson raises an important issue. Madoff, who was unbeaten before their bout despite being 5 feet 8 inches taller than Canelo, gave Crawford one of his hardest battles to date. Crawford thinks he knows what's best for his body, even though his wiry physique would likely result in him losing strength and muscle to fight in bigger weight classification. When Terence Crawford declared to Yahoo Sports prior to his fight with Madoff, "I moved up in weight because I wanted to fight the best guy in the division No one can match the ambition of a professional fighter, and Crawford may have his chance to aim for all-time greatness against Canelo. You think I don't like that fight? Why not? It's just too much weight." He had a close battle with Terence, his last opponent, because the latter was big and awkward. He shouldn't have fought Terence because he was too awkward for a guy who just came at him. The weight difference will soon only serve to solidify his legacy with a victory. According to Brian M. T.I. Crawford's trainer, the bout is slated to take place between Canelo Alvarez's two favorite fighting seasons of the year, which are Mexican Independence Day and Cinco de Mayo weekend, which took place at 106.4. When you watch that fight, what do you think about the idea of him taking on Alvarez? Do you think that his legs move in accordance with Crawford's trainer? Plans are already in place to make sure the fight takes place around the time of Cinco de Mayo. Turkey Alaki and the parties involved have started working to make sure the fight happens. Both fighters receive their enormous paychecks, and it's the biggest fight that boxing fans want to see. Now, even though the fight promised to be an amazing escape hasn't been fully explored, the two-parter criticism of this fight pushes far higher than Alvarez has been allowed to release, and is the biggest fight that boxing fans want to see. Terence Crawford has been led by Brian McIntyre He will be aiming to lead him in a battle with Canelo Alvarez, so we have their legs shaken and make sure they are in excellent form so they can side move. Would you suggest that fight for him? At 154 pounds, Crawford overcame Israel Madoff to become monarch, and he is now aiming to face the legendary Mexican fighter. Although Crawford has accomplished a lot in boxing, his triumph against Canelo stands out as his greatest achievement. The world super middleweight champion has only experienced loss. When McIntyre talked about Canelo versus Bivol on the Luke Thomas YouTube channel, he said, "It's really easy. You just need to know boxing to be able to say that Canelo is going to get in there and do what he did." McIntyre will be studying the Bivol battle twice against Dimitri Bivol and Floyd Mayweather. If a fight between Crawford and Canelo happens, he made him move his feet. If the fight ever happens, that's the fight that I would go back and watch. Must execute. Given that WBN believes Crawford's name is on the short list for the Mexican superstar, I would give Mayweather v vs Canelo TOO some thought after months of media hype of the clash. Crawford is willing to go up 2 weight classes to prove his dominance and has shown persistence in his pursuit of the fight. Although he is fully aware of the physical disadvantage he would face against Canelo and acknowledges that size would play a big role in the fight, Crawford is confident in his ability to overcome this obstacle and impose his fighting style. Given that Crawford's most recent fight, a points victory over Israel Mamov at super welterweight, lacked the dominant performance that many boxing fans had anticipated, some analysts have voiced doubts about his ability to compete successfully at super middleweight. Despite these reservations, the prospect of a fight between Crawford and Canelo has captured the public's interest of boxing enthusiasts. The combination of both fighters' strength, speed, skill, and charisma has the potential for an unforgettable show. Since 2022, Canelo Alvarez has scheduled his fights in May and September, the latter on the weekend that commemorates Mexico's independence. It is anticipated that he will do so again, making it more interesting to see who will be his next opponent because he has shown no interest in taking on David Benavidez's challenge. Saul Alvarez's first fight of the year is over, and mandatory World Boxing Council 168-pound challenger Terence Crawford looks like a good option. Are we still waiting for that second fight to happen? I don't know, man. They still need to work things out and see where they go from there. I nose around out there as an opponent, but it seems like the fight is more media than competitive because Crawford weighs 154 pounds, and the super welterweight is 2 divisions below that. Given how unconvincing the fight against Terence Crawford could be from a sporting standpoint and how evasive he was against Benavidez today at 75 lv, Saul Alvarez may have other intriguing options to start 2025 in the ring. This is in spite of the fact that both Crawford and Sheikh Turki LV are attempting to persuade Alvarez to accept the fight for which he was requesting $150 million. Christian Emile, a 29-year-old Frenchman with an unbeaten 28-fight hero record, has also been considered as a potential replacement for Canelo. Boxing News is eager to suggest a couple of natural super middleweight fighters, Diego Pacho being one of them. He defeated Sergey Dorenko in August and would be a contender for the World Boxing Council, which believes they can get a shot at, but after not even being on the line, a fight that was already ruled out in September was William Skull 23-0, the International Boxing Federation challenger, an organization that took away the Mexican's undisputed tag for refusing to fight the Cuban and deprived him of his world title. The other option mentioned by the media is the 27-year-old Cuban Owsley Ace, who has a record of 13-0 with 12 knockouts and is starting his career with the International Boxing Organization. The 23-year-old would be a challenger for the WBC and WBO, but his next fight is scheduled for January 25th in Las Vegas against Steven Nelson 20-0. You are aware that Canelo battled a smaller Mayweather and has been creating his own catchweight for years. Canelo battled a smaller Amir, but Amir Khan did at 155 while awaiting the announcement of the opponent's date. Only Crawford appears to be the most tangible and realistic at this time, and even without official confirmation, the buzz was unquestionable a few hours after the rumors started circulating. Canelo Alvarez doesn't appear to have any other options unless it were for a rematch with Jamie Munguia, but it looks difficult after his defeat to Bruno Suarez, with whom he would go for the rematch. We asked AI, specifically ChatGPT-40, to predict the fight between the two, and this is what I had to say. I don't know if Canelo can. That's a big boy, man. I don't care. The skills is you got to really have the right skill set, according to Boxing Insider and Ez News founder Elie Seach. He also hinted that the fight could be the biggest event Las Vegas has ever seen. While details are still scarce, fans are undoubtedly eager to see if the fight will actually happen. 3. GPT chat. The possible fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is anticipated to occur in late 2025, with September being the most likely month. This schedule fits with Canelo's custom of fighting on September 16th, Mexican Independence Day, and gives both fighters plenty of time to build anticipation and get ready for the event with a probable tune-up. According to ChatGPT, the venue for this historic fight may be the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, the building close to the playground where Terence Crawford was killed recently by Canelo Alvarez. So, Mexican and beyond that. size and the fact that Canelo is the king, the bout is anticipated to happen at 168 lbs or super middleweight. Moving up from light middleweight, Crawford, however, plans to become undisputed in a third weight class. It was also anticipated that the bout would be constructed as a matchup between two pound-for-pound titans. With Crawford's supremacy at 147 pounds and Canelo's reign at super middleweight, this battle will go down in history as the one where you need to have the movement IQ and sharpness to defeat Diddy, or Diddy just fights the greatest. At 147 pounds and fighting 6, 8, and 9, fights from the 8th range is tremendously magical. The AI gave the first round to Bud Crawford, who begins carefully examining Canelo's timing and rhythm as he presses forward, indicating that he will be the next largest guy in the 75. The 37-year-old will start to settle into the fight between rounds 5 and 8 by using his counter-punching ability to disrupt Canelo's rhythm, while Canelo continues to target the body and slow down Crawford's movement. Crawford is known for landing heavy body shots, but his speed and footwork keep him competitive in early exchanges. The Air claimed that as the fight moves into rounds 9 and 12, it will become more tactical. The model said that Canelo's power and unrelenting pressure will keep him a dangerous threat in the end, while the World Boxing Association super welterweight champion's flexibility and accurate combinations should allow him to land cleaner punches. Surprisingly, AI projected Terence Crawford's win by split decision and preferred him over Canelo Alvarez. And 1-1-1-1-1-1-3, 1-1-1-5, 1-1-3, 1-1-3. 115, however, you must be at least 168 to defeat him. Because Canelo is smaller than me, I was able to push David about for a few rounds by doing whatever I had to do. But he understands how to throw punches and bunches because of his length and weight. In a very contested and strategic fight, the model anticipated that Crawford would successfully defend his recently earned titles at 168 pounds against Rising. But what's more intriguing is when AI confidently stated that Crawford's technical brilliance and adaptability would defeat Canelo's strength and pressure. Containers or consider retiring as an undefeated legend, and the Guadalajara native, despite the loss, would remain one of the greatest super middleweights of all time moving forward. Canelo would likely pursue a rematch with Crawford, with both having to put on another 14 pounds in order to reach the super middleweight limit. Many observers believe that a fight against Alvarez may be a bridge too far for the Nebraska native. In your view, Terence, Crawford beats Canelo. He cooks Canelo. He cooks Canelo. Really? He beats him. Yes, look, if you go back and you watched a fight with Lara recently, Tim Bradley took to his soapbooks to urge Canelo Alvarez to give Terence Crawford the duel. He has been demanding. Crawford is desperate for that fight, but hasn't been able to get it because he doesn't want to put in the effort to beat the best dogs at 168. And 168 is the magic number for Crawford, I believe, or Crawford is the one who wants to beat the best dogs at 168. And so 175, Canelo, the unified super middleweight champion, is urged by Bradley not to run away from a bout with Crawford. Canelo gains nothing from this battle. It is said to be a means for Crawford to receive the golden parachute, which will enable him to fall gently in retirement and live luxuriously in a massive Beverly Hills estate during his golden years. And you can see the same tendencies that Canelo has now, but he's a lot older now. But I just think that Canelo has more skills than Aura, and I think he can do more. And you're understanding, Crawford shown that he has hit the limit of his ability to advance through the divisions by looking awful in his most recent bout on August 3rd against 154-pound champion Israel Madoff. Terence appeared elderly throughout that altercation and had been chewing Madoff's right hands all night. After that performance, why would Canelo want to face Crawford? Canelo don't run away from this. You already ran away from the Benitez fight. You don't care about what people have to say about you anyway, about the fact that you didn't take the fight. Said Tim Bradley on his YouTube channel, you're walking about Mexico and you obviously don't care about what people think about you, about not taking that fight. Make the fight. With Crawford, that's a fight that everybody wants to see you take, and it's going to give Crawford the opportunity to show you and to the world his greatness. Added Bradley, oh, Canelo is a super strong guy, man. Technique, you already know. If you ever wrestled before, the person that got better technique usually win. It don't matter how much the weight they carrying around, it's the technique. Crawford knows how to take care of himself on the inside. Everybody is talking about the weight. Oh, he's going... to knock him out. When was last time Canelo knocked somebody out? Y'all can quit with that. He's going to knock Crawford out. Canelo is the same height as Crawford, 5'8". Canelo started out at 147 lb. He's not a natural 168 pounder. Continued Bradley, compared to Crawford, Canelo is much larger, stronger, and more skilled. Terence, 37, narrowly defeated Israel Madrimov in his August debut at 154, and fans rightfully believe that the Nebraska native is too little and elderly to go up 14 pounds to 168 and fight Canelo for his unified championships. Timothy Bradley's take isn't widely accepted by many boxing fans. Hence, it's attracted several backlash against him and his teammates from the cryptocurrency Tribeca gangs. Just last week, Tribeca Incorporated signed a deal with Crowd Taylor for a live streaming game. Anticity officially declared her title of Winning Trainer Award. Canelo later separated from other professionals rooting for Terence Crawford. He knows how to smother, he knows how to tie up, he knows how to rough guys up, he knows how to turn guys. He understands weight distribution, man. You know, not only that, the only way that I see Canelo beating Crawford is he got to knock him out. Also, a boxing coach revealed how he got racist abuse and hateful messages for picking Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez should the pair agree to make a widely expected and much anticipated fight in 2025. But why did Stephen Edwards double down? The 34-year-old is currently the unified super middleweight champion and is regarded as the biggest name in boxing. The Mexican is also known for his pressure fighting, intelligent counterpunching, and iron chin, and that's part of why he's won 62 bouts and became champion in 4 divisions. Challenging in 5, on the other hand, is the weight differential is the method to fight. In the meantime, when a legend like Mike Tyson speaks highly of a current fighter, it's a moment that resonates deeply within the boxing community. Tyson recently expressed his admiration for Japanese boxing phenom Naoya Inoue, who has dominated the lower weight divisions with his skills, while Davis has competed as high as 140 lb, but Inoue has not yet advanced past the super bantamweight 122 lb division. Technical skill and explosive force. Tyson also mentioned a possible clash between Inoue and Javant Tank in his remarks. In his recent words, Davis sparked enthusiasm about a potential future clash. Tyson showed his respect for Inoue by describing him as really awesome and highlighting the fighter's indisputable talent and promise for Tyson. 37-year-old Bud Crawford, who is also a 4-weight champion and currently a unified light middleweight champion. But Canelo's a great fighter, but my eyes tell me he's slowing down a bit. The Canelo that fought Banga 3 years ago, Pello knocks Balinga out? Bro, that's not a match. His switch hitting and tactical intelligence has been highly praised, making him a tactically versatile fighter who has won 41 matches and has knocked out 31 rivals, so the pair present an enticing clash for boxing experts and casual fans alike, which is part of why Saudi Arabia is so keen to make the punch-up happen, but it appears some are taking it too far, as Edwards reveals he received a wave of abuse for backing the American to win the theoretically contest. I get more racist and hateful emails than you could imagine, Edwards told media as per Boxing Scene. But if you email me you can win on credibility alone, then we can rekindle our friendship, the business can continue, and we can collaborate full-time, as per this letter of just because I picked Crawford to beat Canelo fight, that's a public execution. Fact that he let Balingo go to distance, he let Mia go to distance, he let Charlo go to distance. I'm not saying they was fighting back. They did it to be stopped. But, you know, he just got literal stalkers who tried to bait me into posting their emails because they love to see their names on the internet. Straight losers who claim they hate me and don't value my opinion but read my mailbag every week. It's the strangest obsession. What's funny as hell, Canelo has to do is take the fight and prove me wrong. His fans should be upset with him, not me. Canelo's fans didn't get upset with me when I picked him to beat Bible, and I was as wrong as 2 left shoes. It was one of the worst picks of my life when I backed their guy to beat Bavo. It's no shame in losing the Bavo. He proved himself to be a great fighter, but I also didn't get one hateful email from any Russians claiming a conspiracy theory against them because I picked Canelo, to a point where once he put him in their place and he knew he could beat him, he just did it, turn the after gear on. And Bud's movement, his feet, his conditioning, his physical strength, he's a lot stronger despite the abuse. Edwards will not be bullied into backing the man from Guadalajara to beat the man from Omaha should they actually meet in the ring at some stage in 2025. As he offers some strong words to the trolls in his inboxes, Canelo has a great IQ and it's incredibly high. This is a person who is a powerhouse, and sometimes when he offers a fight to a troll, he takes a few of them himself. But in the off-season, he has great eyes. He reportedly regularly beats up heavyweights in the gym. He knows that. Size is not everything, Edwards added. He also knows the trouble he had with Mayweather, Trout, and Lara fighters who have similar body styles and traits of Bud Crawford. He can also see what Crawford is, even if you can't. You guys can write in all you want. Call me all the names you want, insult me all you want. I'm picking Terence Bud Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez by close decision. No one is talking me off of my pick. Then people realize I'm not saying he's stronger than Canelo, but he's strong. Enough. It's not a weightlifting contest. If Canelo and Crawford were to fight either Saturday the 3rd of May or 10th of May, two of the weekend dates closest to Cinco de Mayo, a key part of boxing's calendar, are open. But Canelo is perhaps waiting to see what happens with the outcome of a 22nd of February fight between light heavyweight rivals Artur BBV and Dimitri Bivol. BBVE beat Bivol in the first fight last year. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.